Hello and welcome to the second part of this week's lectures, which is going to be focusing on managing relationships and building customer loyalty. So let's have a look at the learning objectives. The first one is to explain the importance of customer retention within service industries. Second, explain the economics of customer retention. Number 3, outline strategies to develop, manage and retain customer relationships. Number 4, describe the foundations of successful customer retention. And number 5, understand customers' loyalty motives. So let's look at the importance of customer retention. So service businesses can grow via 6 different pathways. First one is attract new customers, which seems to be fairly popular with a lot of businesses. Number 2, encouraging existing customers to purchase more units of service. So growing demand for your existing customers. Number 3, encouraging existing customers to purchase higher value of services, for instance, staying in more expensive or better class of hotel or upgrading them. Number 4, reduce the extent of turnover or churn resulting in from desirable customers that defect to a competing service supplier, which is a really important one, which we're going to be talking a fair bit about. Regain lost customers, so the ones that you've lost, bringing them back, which kind of links back to attracting new customers. It's a similar concept, but then goes in circles. So, and then last of all, terminate unprofitable, stagnant, or otherwise unsatisfactory relationships and replace them with new customers who match more closely with the firm's profit, growth, and positioning goals. There's a reason why that's a longer sentence, because when we talk about marketing, most people are a little bit surprised when we tell them to get rid of customers, right? Most people think about marketing as trying to get as many customers as possible, but that's not what good marketing is. Good marketing is building valuable relationships with your most valuable customers. And if you have customers that are not valuable to your business, they can actually be detrimental to it, right? Because the resources you put into servicing those customers detract from the resources that you could put into servicing your valuable customers. So sometimes it's a better business decision to actually get rid of unvaluable customers. I want to talk about that a bit more coming up, but it's a bit tricky to do, and you can understand why some businesses are reluctant to do it, because if you do it wrong, you can have a bad impact on your business, but if you do it right, you can really bring your marketing to the next level. So if you don't know what you're doing, this is the hardest one to do. All right, now creating value for customers and the firm. So valuable relationships are win-win situations. The customer finds value because they benefit of staying with the service firm, and that it significantly exceeds the associated costs of obtaining them from the firm's perspective, right? So the customer wins because it's a good relationship for them. The firm wins because it's a good relationship for them as well. Now the firm finds value because the economic benefits of a relationship that is financially profitable over time. And we'll talk about customer lifetime value, where it might cost money to bring new customers on and to service them and get them trained up and feeling comfortable and stuff like that. But then over time, the value that those customers bring into the business is greater overall. So research by Richard and Sazer found that the longer customers remained with a firm in each of these industries, which the industries that they did the research in, the more profitable they became to serve. And there's the link to the journal article there. It's published in the Harvard Business Review, so you can look that up as well. And this guy here, I can't say his name very well, but he's actually quite famous now in relationship marketing and in customer relationship management. All right. So we've got here customer loyalty and profitability. So now remember, this is based on the data from their research. So it's not going to be every situation all the time, but it gives us a bit of a feel for how it works. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different industries in there, right? Now these are benchmarked at 1. So the credit card industry, the cost of acquiring a new customer is going to be, just say, $10, or in industrial industry it might be $100. Industrial distribution might be $50. So what we've done there is they've indexed it, so they've standardized it. So to be an index of 100. So it doesn't really matter what the absolute value is, it's a percentage of that original value. So over time, you can see here, the credit card, the money that you make, so the profit that you make, actually goes up over time, all right? Now, especially for this green one, industrial distribution and car servicing, quite significant. But even like these other ones, such as credit cards and industrial laundry, it still does go up. So there's a common relationship there. Although the magnitude varies, there is a common theme that it does increase over time, indexed to the original, the first year's first year's worth of profit. So the key concept from that is hold on to your customers, your valuable customers, as much as possible. Right. So there are 4 factors working for the firm's advantage to create incremental profits. Incremental means each year it increases. So opportunities to cross-sell to the other company services, which makes sense, right? You go, I've been using this company for a while, I'm happy with the service and what they do there. So there's benefits for the customer then if their need for services expand, that they stay with that same organisation because they're familiar with it, right? Reduced operating cost, because setting up customers is usually more expensive than keep maintaining them. Increased purchases, and then positive word of mouth advertising as well. And that's hard to measure, positive word of mouth, but we know that it's there. Even though we find it hard to measure it, there are ways that we do pick that up, and that's simply by asking, how did you hear about our business? And there's difficulties associated with that because people go, I heard about your business, through a Facebook ad, and then I clicked on that, went to your business. But there's usually multiple factors that contribute to someone selecting a service firm, right? So they might have clicked on the link through the Facebook, but it was after someone had recommended that firm to them as well. So a lot of the benefits of word of mouth advertising get missed in the way that we measure new business coming in and the benefits of customer loyalty. But when we dig deep enough, we can definitely see it's there. Right, we've got another chart here which shows why customers are more profitable over time. So acquiring costs for the first year, and again, this is for that same guy, right, with different different table, but the same sort of research, right? So customer acquisition costs. So signing up new customers costs money. So the first year you might not actually make a profit in there. Now the second year, that's in year 0. Once the first year is completed, you get base level profit, and then profit from increased purchases and higher balance of purchases, and then profit from reduced operating costs through efficiency, and then profit from referrals and price premiums. Price premiums would be like upgrading, been with the service for a long time, and they go, well, I want to upgrade. Just go and grab a hotel, right? You go, I've been staying at this hotel for quite a while, and now I want to go into the next time I stay there, or I'm going to go to a conference on it, and I'm going to get the platinum room or the executive suites and stuff like that. So just upgrading to higher, more valued products. All right, so let's look at an alternative view on the loyalty profitability linkage. So it's a mistake to assume that all loyal or long-term customers are more profitable than those who make one-time purchases. Right? And we've been talking about this a lot. We want to develop loyal relationships with our customers, right? But not all of them are equal. So on the cost side, not all types of service industries incur heavy promotional expenditures to attract new customers. Sometimes it's easy, right? Think of Netflix. Signing up to Netflix, it would be relatively low cost exercise for them, I'd imagine, because it's all automatic, right? There's not like you got to ring them up. You just bang your customer details in, and the infrastructure's in the background. So sure, you need to have that, the computer systems in place and the exchange processes there, but once it's set up, it would be running, right? On the revenue side, loyal customers may not necessarily spend more than one-time buyers, and in some instances, they may even expect price discounts. And this happens when customers go, I've been with you a long time, I want more discounts. And you're like, well, you've been with us a long time, but you're not exactly a high valued customer. It's not like you spend a lot of money, and you wanting discounts is actually going to make you even less valuable a customer. So let's look at alternative view of the loyalty profitability linkage again. So research by Ronsart and Kumar. This is another famous, I think he was the editor of Journal of Marketing a while ago. In a non-contractual setting, has shown little evidence that long-term customers are more profitable. They conclude that typically 80%, I'm thinking ahead here, typically 20% of the firm's customers generate approximately 80% of the revenue, and this is called the Pareto concept, or the Pareto principle. That's what it's called, and this legit is true. I've done this analysis in businesses that I've worked for myself and done distributions of who my customers are and the amount that they spend, and legit almost to the, not exact, but very close to the Pareto distribution. Most of the money comes from top 20, like my 20 biggest customers. So 80% of my revenue comes, so then naturally then you're going to focus on, rather than trying to service every customer equally, you're going to focus on those top 20. And even in that top 20, so that's like the distribution model. And usually you'll have one or two customers that even the biggest. So of that 80% of the revenue, of the 80, the majority of it's going to come from your biggest customers as well. So many heavy users are actually multi-brand loyal. And think about the favorite products that you consume. I will just grab something like a soft drink, right? You might like the can of Coke, so that's one brand, but it doesn't mean to say you don't like drinking Solo, right? Which is another consumer, or you like drinking Powerade. So a lot of people are loyal to different things, right? High lifetime value, high lifetime revenue drive profit, not duration. So just because it lasts a long time doesn't mean to say it's going to be profitable. Long-term customers are more knowledgeable and price sensitive. Yeah, so the more I've been saying customer learning is a really important thing, which it is, but the more knowledgeable your customers get, the more sensitive they can be as well, because they know more about it. Ignorant customers sometimes are just happy to just go along with the status quo. So I'm going to use myself as an example for the financial products like banks and stuff like that. I just don't really care enough to go out there and start switching banks at the moment. So, but if I was highly informed about that, I might care more and then start asking my bank for better discounts. And stuff like that. Whereas, customers that don't care or don't really know, are sort of not necessarily completely ignorant, but just don't care enough. They're just going to stay with it because it's easier. The switching costs from moving from one service home to another are higher than the effort, the benefits that they perceive to get from that. So customers resent firms that try to profit excessively from their loyalty, which is so true. You feel violated because you go, you're a loyal customer, now we're trying to make as much money. Like, I'm giving you my loyalty and you're trying to exploit that out of me. That's not good. So we don't want to do that to our customers. Long life customers are less costly to serve. Short life customers become unprofitable and infested. And this is a segmentation issue. It goes right back to the beginning of marketing, how we segment, work out. We used to say just segment based on the profit, all right? But just because customers make more money doesn't mean they're more valuable. Now we say segment based on on value, how loyal they are to your business, how these customers align with the values of your organisation, all these things. So values are a much bigger concept than just profit. Higher average prices are paid by short life customers. And here's another link to the research by these people, which was published in the Journal of Marketing. All right. The gap between actual and potential customer value. So Grant and Schlesinger, they declare that the potential profitability of customers should be a key marketing driver. So it's not just how much money you've made in the past, but the potential that they do. And this is actually really cool. It's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky to do in real life, but you can do it by the size of the organisation, and you can analyse where your customers are within the marketplace. If they're winning new contracts or big work, or they've got big things happening with them, the potential grows for that customer as well. So the analysis of the three gaps between actual and potential performance. So what percentage of its target customers does the firm currently have? So it's called market share. And what percentage could it potentially obtain? And we know this through marketing research, right? So it takes a bit of time and effort. And it's higher level marketing, but it's better marketing. What is the current purchasing behaviour of customers in each target segment? So what are they currently doing? What could be the impact of sales and profits if they exhibited the ideal behaviour that we're trying to design of, say, like buying more services offered by the firm, or share of wallet, which is how much are the customers actually spending, using these to the exclusion of any purchases from competitors and paying full price. Right. How long on average do customers remain with the firm, their loyalty? What impact would it have if they remained customers for life? So these are the things that we think about when we're analysing potential customer value. And it can be done. And it can be done quite, I don't want to say easily, but it can be done quite accurately if you put the time and effort in. But it comes back down to data and getting close to your customers. With marketing research, which we'll deal with coming up. Not in this unit, there's a whole unit designed around teaching you guys how to do marketing research. So segmentation of relational markets then. So managers shouldn't assume that the right customers are always the big spenders. And this is what I was just saying before. We don't just look at the revenue coming in. Sometimes you have to cut the profit margins quite low to get the big spenders in, and you think, well, that's good because we've got bringing revenue into our business. But then they can be quite, they turn a lot of volume over, and they can be quite difficult to service and maintain as well. So they might not be the most valuable customers just because they spend the most. Depending on the service business model, the right customers may come from a large group of people that no other supplier is doing a good job of servicing. And this is where our positioning comes in. We look at what markets are out there, what segments in the market, and like what niches there are to capture. Many firms have built successful strategies on servicing customer segments that have been neglected by established players who didn't perceive them as being sufficiently valuable, especially in growth industries as well. So different segments different segments offer different value for a service firm. Like investments, some types of customers may be more profitable than others in the short term, but others may have greater potential for long-term growth. So taking the long view of it, and that's a key thing for about looking at relationship marketing or relational markets. All right, so that's it for this section here. Section 2, we're going to look at loyalty and relationship marketing.